let's take a look at a situation where we may apply EIGRP manual route summarization, and we'll do it in our environment as well. So you should have no auto summary running on all of your routers, and if it's iOS 15.0 or later, you get that automatically. But no auto summary says manual route summaries apply, follow that, abide by that. And you don't want any weak links, by the way. One router running auto summary could be enough to ruin your day. Here's the syntax and an example of a summary route, IP summary address. Now notice where it lives. Interface level. OSPF does this in router configuration mode, but I prefer interface level. And it means you're launching it out of this interface. You're launching it out of serial 000. And let's find that. We're on router 3. So we're advertising that out serial 000. Looks good to me. So then we follow it up by saying, I'm summarizing an EIGRP collection of routes, not RIP. The autonomous system value of 110. Looks good, that matches. And then the routing prefix that I want to craft manually. A prefix is just a subnet and a mask. Does this mask match anything out there in the wild? No, it does not. /20. That is a /20 mask. How do I know? It's 8 plus 8 plus 4. So that's a /20 mask equivalent. And you do build this in dotted decimal form and not slider notation. So did they do this right? Did they craft that properly? Well, to know that, we have to look at our topology. In our topology, we have a number of networks on R1 and R2. And here is how I would do that. I would count the number of networks that exist. I would count the number of networks that exist in my summary range. And so I would count 16/24 subnets. I know that 2 to the 4 equals 16. And I know I need to dial back my mask by 4 bits. So we go from a /24 reduced by 4, which equals a /20 mask. How did I do that? Well, count the number of subnets that you have, then find the power of 2 for that number of subnets, and that really is the reduction of the number of ones that is needed to capture that range. You can rework my math and do it a few different ways, but this should work. So in any case, oh, and by the way, this could have also been a collection of 2 different masks. If you said, well, why doesn't R1 summarize to a /21? Well, it could have. R1 and R2 could have had a perfect summary mask of 21, and we could have advertised 172.16.8/21 from R2. It could have happened. We might have done that. But we chose to summarize at a different place. We chose to summarize at R3. So the choice is up to you and where you summarize, but it does need to make sense based on the topology and the administrative domains, things like that. So in that case, we've generated our route summary, and we're going to advertise that out to whatever other EIGRP routers are awaiting outside of serial 000. So it's directional. It's going in that direction. Now, let's do that on our topology. Now, where's a place that's conducive to this? I would argue R3 is well suited to begin a summary advertisement for IP addresses in the 10.11 space. Specifically, I want to summarize the 4/28 networks that exist. So let's go over to R4. Let's see them before. I'll do a show IP route. give you space to look at that. So I want to summarize those networks there, and I'm going to do that on R3. So R3, and I want to make sure I do that on the right interface. So R3 is going to launch it out of 3/0. 3/0 is my interface. IP summary address, EIGRP, autonomous system number. Always use the first network in the range. Follow that up with the perfect mask. And what is the perfect mask? Looks like 26. It's a /26, which is, I need 2 more bits, which is 192, which will be, yeah, that's the right range. I'm going to press enter there. And so we're going to look again at our routing table. And I can see that perfect summary, which is going to capture everything from 10.1.1.0 to 10.1.1.63. So that is the construction of summary addresses in EIGRP. Interface level, you got to remember that portion of the config. Go to the interface, not to router EIGRP mode.